Welcome to No Such Thing as Normal podcast with Natalie Hayes and Jess McKeown.
This is a casual podcast where we talk about all the things you're not supposed to talk about in order to help you normalize your real life, because really we're all just a bunch of weirdos having a completely human experience in a society that asks us to pretend like we're not.
And I'm your host, Jess, a gifted spirit baby medium who facilitates deep soul healing by channeling divine messages.
And I'm your other host, Natalie, an intuitive mentor and transformative healer.
Be sure to subscribe where you listen to podcasts. Watch our 100% unedited episodes on YouTube. And you can also follow us on IG at McJaguar and at Intuitively Natalie for more weirdo and woo-woo content.
Yes, and if you like this episode, please rate and review and subscribe and share it and tag us on your social media so that other people can unleash their weird with you.
Woo! I just realized that we call it 100% unedited episodes because we don't want to edit them. But man, did you sell that?
I don't edit them.
I know, but like, see how you can take something as an entrepreneur and be like, it's 100% unedited.
Is it too like snake oil salesman? Is it too?
No, I think it's like authentic and honest, but it's just like, it's just a way to take something in life and make it, and it's seen in a different light.
Yeah. Also, why?
Yeah.
Why do I have to edit all of this?
You want all the good stuff. You want to hear all the good stuff. If we edited, we'd probably be beeping and editing too much anyway.
I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, we almost had to edit out some tree choppers in your neighborhood, and we have barking dogs and squawking birds, but we're just going to roll with it, people.
This is life. This is real life.
Because it's almost spring. It's March 15th when we're recording this. And we are excited. I'm excited. Are you excited? Do you like spring?
I'm excited. My friend told me today, I went to breakfast with a friend and he said it was the Ides of March today.
It is.
What does that mean?
Somebody died on this day.
Is it Caesar?
Maybe. I think it is. There's like beware the Ides of March.
But what does that mean?
Okay, I'm going to Google it because see, like beware the Ides of March. It comes right up. Let's see what it says, people. It says in the play, a soothsayer warns Caesar to be careful on March 15th, although the ruler ignores the mystic with tragic consequences.
Oh, boom! Okay.
So don't ignore your mystics, people. Don't ignore your intuition. If a soothsayer comes up to you and warns you about a day, you might want to listen.
Look at the definition to soothsayer.
Okay, I love that.
Do I need to put it in my bio?
Soothsayer. Oh, that's a song. No, I want a definition, please. A person supposed to be able to foresee the future.
Oh, I don't call myself that.
Yeah, but you can see the future kind of, huh?
No, I feel like now everything is changing so much and so fast that like the future could this is a potential. We could tap into this potential because all potentials exist, but it's not like as definitive as it used to be.
Natalie would be like, Caesar, just timeline hop where you don't get killed.
Caesar, pick a new timeline. Yeah. Retemplate.
Caesar, why are you calling this destruction and killing to you? Wonder what his subconscious blocks were.
What he was attracting. Oh, yeah.
Death, pretty much.
We promise.
Murder by his bestie. I mean, so tragic.
He was murdered by his bestie?
Yeah. E2 Brute. And you, Brutus. Yeah. Like you too, bro. That's another way to say it.
Don't come to us for history lessons.
Yeah. And there's fabulous history podcasts out there. But yeah. So beware the Ides of March. We're going to be on point today with our channeling and our topics. Ooh.
We're going to do our best.
I feel a little
And the last one, have you read any more of that book? We actually didn't get to talk about it since we started that book last week.
I have not.
Oh, I am chapter 15. We are deep.
I love it so much. I would like the Cliff Notes version, please. What do I need to focus on?
Well, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I also don't want to gatekeep. That's the thing Gen Z says.
What are you going to spoil though for me? I already believe it.
Like if you read the book and you like want to be surprised, I don't know. I won't tell you about chapter 3. Chapter 3 made me cry, but I think you already read it.
Oh, okay.
I think. Did you reach out? How far did you get in the book, Jess?
I'm a skimmer.
Oh, that's right. You skim.
I'm a
That's
skimmer.
right.
So
I'm
I'll go back
listening
and
to
read it
it.
though.
I'm listening to it.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Okay. So the last chapter I read that she talked about Lemuria. She channeled somebody who had lived in Lemuria.
I did read that chapter.
Yeah. And like their
Because it
job,
fascinates me.
because my jaw, I was driving, right? I had to drop my
Yeah.
tax stuff off like a half hour away. So I'm driving and my jaw is just like, you put energy into rocks. I put energy into rocks.
And you sent me a TikTok about somebody's a young child speaking light language, and which
light
is
language.
Lemurian, and which I speak also. And you were like, you should talk with her. And I actually was like, I kind of want to, because what she said is true. Like, you know what you're saying, and I know what I'm saying in English, but it comes out in Lemurian light language. And I'm so curious if I could talk with somebody and what that exchange would be like.
Okay, for those that are listening that maybe are not as familiar with light language, how would you best define it?
Oh, my guides are feisty today. They're like Spanish. It's just a different.
It's just a love language.
No, it's a different language, but and it kind of sounds like you're speaking a foreign language. You know, if you speak English, to me, it sounds like I can hear parts of like other languages that I know, right? So I'm in like Germanic languages specifically, but it also has a lot of like kind of clicking sounds and kind of like more vocal tonal sounds, probably from other cultures and languages that you can hear in other cultures and languages now that maybe started in Lemuria,
derived from light language.
It's and then people also will see things and they'll see symbols as well. So people also experience this language in different ways. I would say it's a what are they calling it for me? It's it's like you're translating source, you're translating source energy, you're translating a frequency, you're translating like the frequency of where this language lives in the light space. These are the explanations they're giving me. I'll give you a human one, but it's just a different way, and it comes kind of through you is what I want to say. Like, it feels very channeled to me when I channel people or entities or anything. There's a certain feeling in my body. This feels very much the same way. I do know what I'm saying in English, but yeah, it comes out in this other way. And then I think maybe all languages to a degree have some kind of vibration, but this is coded to be spoken in a way that is very, very directly affecting your vibration, or you, the receiver who's hearing it. That's another way to hear. I mean, I guess all languages like that, but this also in a vibrational tone. And they're saying that, you know, the English language, Spanish language, whatever, have that as well, but this has like more healing, more light in it, if you will. Yeah.
And it's not a written language. It's like a downloaded language.
Yeah, but people do see it written with symbols
and like symbols and stuff. I feel like it's not this, like there's not rigid rules to it though.
No, it kind of looks like Arabic. It kind of looks like Arabic plus God, I can't speak words when I'm in channeled state. I'm going to just snap out of that. Hieroglyphics, symbology. So it's a mix of like symbols and sort of like that Arabic or Chinese kind of character where things are represented, a concept or a phrase is represented in a symbol with the lines and the language. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Why did we start talking about light language? Lemuria. Okay.
Lemuria, the book by Dolores Cannon.
Oh, okay. That's right.
That you're reading, and you're deep in chapter 15.
I am deep. I am invested. I feel like on a certain level, this is the work that I'm like moving towards, is like channeling intergalactically. Why are you laughing?
I just saw that your shirt said "Howdy, bitch." So I was like, well, wait, I can't laugh. She's saying something important. Anyway,
I got it on it.
This is the work you're moving into. Howdy, bitch. This is my new work. Tell me why, like the different waves of people coming in and supporting them.
It's like the kind of channeling is not like human self channeling that I do necessarily, especially in the records. So I think that's why her work just resonates so much, because most of the time she's speaking to the intergalactic version of these people. Their higher self is intergalactic. So like that's kind of the work that I do. So it really resonates with me. But to her talking about Lemuria and like the collapse of Lemuria, she was saying that this being that she was channeling in a hypnosis session, it was this higher self of a human on earth, and they were like a medicine person in Lemuria, and they put energy into little rocks, and their community didn't have any disease because the healing was in these crystals, and they put the intention and the healing in these crystals and rocks. But this person also did grid work, like light worker on the grid of the planet, and put energy into big rocks, and that kind of grounded the energy into the planet. And those rocks are actually still on Earth, they're just underwater. And they said through this channeling, she asked, like, you know, how did this come about? How did this happen? Because she's interviewing them and getting these questions. That's how she's getting all of this information. And like Easter Island, you know, they have the faces on the stones. Like that's what the stones were that they were putting energy into. And that's why you can go to Stonehenge and it feels healing. You can feel the energy in the rocks because they literally put energies into the rocks. And she's like, well, how do they get the rocks there? And this person that's channeling is like, oh, a big ship comes in, typically in the early morning, and moves it. It's like,
what kind of ship?
She solved the mystery of Stonehenge. Yeah.
I knew it.
Solved Stonehenge. She was like, yeah, big ships. They come and they move the rocks. I know. And then she was like, okay, fast forward to what happened. And I guess there were other beings that were non-emotional beings. They weren't human beings on the other side of the planet at that time.
Okay.
And they were fucking with the Earth's grid. Just like, let's do this and see what happens. So they did something to the light grid around the planet, and it had this effect on the other side of the world where Lemuria was. They're saying like they said Lemuria spanned from Japan, like parts of Japan, obviously Hawaii. They still call that like the land of Mu, to the Baja coast. And like it was
Mexico,
huge.
Yep.
And now it's all underwater because of these things to the grid that these other beings were doing. And the Earth, like Mama Earth, basically put it all underwater. It was like an eruption or something, and everything went underwater. And only like a few Lemurians survived. And they were taken up in ships, according to this being, and they made Atlantis. They were taken over to the Atlantic Ocean and dropped to like, okay, we're going to create civilization there.
This is like making me cry.
I was, because you're a Lemurian, but I was driving. I swear to God, my jaw was on the floor the whole time. I was like,
I'm just like, as you're saying this, it's like hearing of like what I'm immediately relating to is like what's happening in Ukraine right now. Right. And people like losing their homeland and having to be forced out of it. And just that, you know, that same feeling of just like, you know, home, like that sense of home and belonging is so important. And it's that there's so many of us on this planet that have been displaced from our homes in this lifetime and in past lifetimes and from our ancestors. And like, that just stays with you sometimes, you know, and this is making me like want to cry and also like want to fight.
Well, that's why the volunteers came, was because they didn't want to see another planet destroyed like their home planet was destroyed. So if the stuff around Ukraine in like destruction, if that like really bothers you at this core level and you're like, I don't understand, I'm nowhere near Ukraine. Honestly, it's because you have some kind of intergalactic life experience where like your home was destroyed. And she has several chapters on like the destruction of planets and how sad these beings are when they come to Earth. And like, that's why they came here, was to help save the planet, because
we know what it's like.
Yeah. And we're not allowed to destroy the Earth because it'll have intergalactic consequences.
I'm feeling so sad, Natalie.
Yes, it's probably because you were on Lemuria. Ask your guides, were you on Lemuria?
I was.
Okay, that's why it's sad.
Yeah, it's just, you guys, it was so amazing. It was so perfect. It was so
no disease.
Jiving. We were all just happy. And you know, it's so hard to see that happening again with everything that's going on. And I think
the potential.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, really? And I think there are pockets and places of it, you know, there's like communities and stuff like that, but just that bigger, grander global thing. Like, I've always called myself a citizen of the world, and people are like, what? And I'm like, well, like, who cares if you're an American or you're Chinese or whatever, you know, like, we're all on this planet together. Like, who's thinking about that? Who's thinking about the interconnection and when something happens over here, it affects us over there.
Well,
Hi,
now we are.
pandemic. Hi,
Yeah.
pandemic.
That was the whole purpose of the pandemic.
Hello.
Really, was a
Hello.
huge purpose of it.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, now I'm going to read more of this book so that
you
we can
have to
gab about it. Maybe I should listen to it audio. I feel like I might get through it faster.
You might. My only complaint about the audio is that they have a man narrating women's transcripts.
They couldn't afford another audio actor.
My only complaint. Yeah.
Does he do like a oh no kind of voice? Okay.
I would be even more irritated if he
did. Charlotte said. Oh, that's funny. All right.
Yeah, okay, well that's enough about Lemuria. But if you feel compelled to look at Lemuria, you probably have some Lemurian origins.
And get this deck Beyond Lemuria. It's so good.
Yeah, you can see it on Spotify or on YouTube. Jess is holding it up to the
camera. It's by Izzy Ivy. I highly recommend. It feels like home. I
love that. And you have a bunch of Lemurian crystals, right?
I do. And I love Hawaii, Mexico, Japan. Like I had this obsession with Japan, which now makes sense a lot, even more that it's
that makes a ton of sense. I have an obsession with Mexico.
Yeah, me too.
Love Mexico. So.
And not just for what you might think, but just the spirituality of the Mexico.
What is it that I might think?
Well, like
tortillas.
Food, their food is damn good. Like that's a fucking bonus, right? I think there's like my favorite meme that's like, I don't know, but I haven't ever seen anybody unhappy in a Mexican restaurant. It's so true.
With a margarita in their hand, nobody can be unhappy.
Mexico, it's a happy place for me.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
I would have to have multiple places. I'm that person that takes the question and gives her own answer.
It's not finite. You could move later.
Okay. Right now, Hawaii.
Right now, it's Hawaii.
Yeah, I miss it so much.
The land of Mu.
Maui specifically.
Oh, I get that vibe from me. I actually
on the beach. I could just walk out to the beach.
I think it would be cool to visit Hawaii, but I've never felt that like pull.
Yeah, where would you want to live?
Mexico City or the Baja Coast.
Whoa, Mexico DF. That's a
or Guatemala. Lately, I've been thinking I could actually live in Guatemala,
like in the jungle,
like on Lake Atitlan.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Oh, it's magical. It's so beautiful there.
I love this. Now I'm gonna envision you in Guatemala.
Okay, so this comes out on the day of the equinox. It's the 21st.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Happy astrological New Year!
That's all I have. I don't know. We should write horn blowers, but yeah, spring has sprung.
Yeah. So if you're feeling, and this past, okay, well, we're recording this prior to the moon being full in Virgo, but when this comes out, the weekend prior, you felt like, oh my God, I need to clean. Oh my God, I need to purge. I need to get organized. Like that is the Virgo full moon, baby. Get organized. And Jess, actually, you found some really cool stuff about Virgo.
I did. So Virgo, August 23rd to September 22nd ish, kind of depends on each year, but usually, and they are an earth sign, and I'm a Virgo rising. So I very much love a Virgo. It's so interesting because I think what's interesting is like Virgo's kind of, there's a lot of signs. A lot of people have opinions and generalizations about signs, but I mean, Virgos, I would say they're kind of true. Like we are kind of anal retentive, and we do kind of get stressed out about things because we're here to fucking help you.
You need a plan.
We're like, oh my God, these people need help. And then we figure it out and we're fine. And then, but we can also be like labeled as like perfectionists, but again, we want to help you. So we kind of want it to be pretty perfect or pretty aligned. And they're an earth sign. Did I say that?
That doesn't really resonate with the archetype that's so taught of the Virgin. Yeah.
So here, this is the cool one. I wrote this one at the top. Where is it? Their planet ruler is Mercury. Right. And so Mercury, so it says Virgo's job with the help of Mercury was to sort through the harvest, essentially separating what's necessary from what's not. So Virgo's dedicated to this task. That's why they're known as like the editors of the zodiac. That's why they're kind of that earthy sign. They're like, okay, what are we keeping? What's going? What's good? What's bad? Like, oh my God, that is like heaven to me.
I love that.
editing,
I love that.
organizing, purging, sorting, spring cleaning. Oh my God. I
love
literally
it.
was like, should I have a business? I watch the home edit on repeat because I'm just like, oh, this organization and this and stuff. But I'm in this astrology entrepreneurs group, and our call today was about feng shui and about clutter. And like clutter is like a super no-no in
Clutter
feng
is
shui.
emotional.
Yeah. And it's like, it's blocked energy. And so look around your spaces and be like, what's cluttered? What's funky? What's messy? And then, look at the Bhagwan map and be like, does that relate to this wealth or this love or this family or this relationships? But also just like, it's such a good time to just clear out stuff. If we don't need it, purge it. And this moon, this last weekend into this week, right? Good time to do it.
Huge. Good time to purge. And the energy is still around because it's the equinox just when this comes out. So
okay, but this is the fun thing about Virgos, right? Often called like the virgins.
Yeah.
You always hear that. It does not have to do with sexual virginity. So I just read this little thing here. It says the virgin ties to the sign's dedication to purity and service. And it demonstrates that Virgos are capable of caring for themselves. Yeah, girl.
So like they have their own shit so together that they can help somebody else. They're like, I got this. Let me help you.
And only in like in the 1300s did it become about sexuality and purity and the patriarchy and making it about that. So, I think this reclamation of this word virgin and virginity and purity and all that kind of stuff, like we're taking so much back from the patriarchy. This is one of them. I fucking love this. It kind of like gives me a whole new perspective of virginity and Virgos and that word, and really coming back more to this purity, right? Yeah. Virgin, untouched, right? Right. That's if you think about it.
Say.
And instead of like the creepy, like gross, sexual, like untouched, just more like pure, right? Clean, clear. And like, ew, we need to think about women's bodies in that way. Go fuck yourselves.
Exactly.
That's the Virgo in me.
I love that. Okay, so we've got this huge Virgo full moon right before the equinox.
Yeah. Where's Virgo in your chart though? Do you have any Virgo?
10th house is my career.
So you're like here to heal and serve.
I am a subconscious editor.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's like, it's almost like you can like hear what's off in people's energy or when they're working with you, and you'd be like, let me just edit that shit out of you, subconscious.
And like, not like the noise, like you can, it's easy for me to navigate like the extraneous noise that's not important.
Yeah. You're like discernment. You're thrashing that wheat.
Thrashing the wheat. I'm a wheat thrasher. That's my job.
The wheat thrasher of your thoughts and subconscious. Are you going to do anything for this full moon?
I don't have anything specifically. Oh, actually, we have a financial meeting with our financial advisor. So that's perfect for the Virgo full moon.
Yeah. Right. Purge any things that aren't serving your financial future. I love that.
Yeah, just getting like our foundation a little bit more secure. And it's because I have like a bunch of old retirement accounts, like from my first marriage. I had to go find my divorce decree and my marriage license and like fax them all these papers. It's just been sitting there for like 10 years.
What a nice time to get it all tidied up.
It's really nice. And like I did a 2022 spread at the beginning of this year, like January 1st. I did it for myself and for Jenna. And I took a picture on my phone and like wrote down the themes for each month just to track it and see like if it tracks.
Yeah.
And March was about like getting your foundation secure. It just feels aligned for this month.
I love that. I'm probably going to make some moon water.
Oh yeah.
Because I channel for this group and I channeled the moon the other day, and they gave I guess the collective they energy of the moon. Sometimes I call her she, sometimes I call her they, but I got this download around making moon water, but putting your intentions like underneath the jar and then setting it so that it kind of comes in there. And so I was like, okay, I kind of like this. Like, what is complete for me? I have just completed a 6-month journey. So the new moon was in September last year. What have you been doing? And I like finished my mediumship circle. I did a lot of expansive work there. So I'm kind of like closing out a lot of work stuff around, getting ready to shift into this next big upgrade that's coming for me, and just being like, I'm ready. I'm really ready. I'm ready to let things go. I'm ready and feeling organized. I'm ready to like, move into this next place. So it feels good.
That's great. And it has a lot to do with your identity because you're Virgo rising. So first house, like how you show up in the world.
Exactly.
Closing those cycles, ready to open more doors.
Yeah. ready to just be bigger, guys, you know?
Huge.
Bam.
Bam, in your face. I've been getting a lot in client sessions about like there's no space for things to come through. Like their guides are like, there's just a lot of fear around new endeavors or like what you really want, asking for what you want, but you're not going to get what you want unless you have created the space to receive it. It's not that they're going to start giving you more and more and more and more, and you're going to have to scramble to create the space. No, like, sure, that's on some people's paths, but it's few and far between. If you're trying to manifest and do this manifestation work and releasing work, like, how can you create more space for the things that you want to come through?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why I'm doing this ceremony, right? It's like I'm everything, all the old thoughts, patterns, ways are like, thank you so much. I understand them now. And then when I release, I do have space now for this expansiveness that I've been training for, is what I'll say. I'm now ready to receive it. Right. And I think, yeah, you do have to leave a little bit of space for new things to come in. It's like when you get a bookshelf, don't put all the shit on it. Leave a space for a treasure to come your way, you know?
Right. Like
Hey.
a bookshelf analogy.
Full of analogies. That's how spirit works through me. You know, it's so fun because it's like these concepts are like, you know, my guides are making fun, you know, they're like, oh, go out in nature. Right. And they're like, sometimes you guys don't hear those. So we try to make Jess do fun things so that you listen and laugh and get the aha moment. Because that moment of laughter, that moment of, oh yeah, it's like, that is the concept they're saying downloading into you, which is like, right, I do want to leave space on things. And if you all have some crowded bookshelves, maybe you dust them off and give some stuff away, and maybe new treasures will come your way.
Like a practice that I did, because with this fertility journey that we've been on, a lot of the stuff that various healers and people, and even you, that like people I've reached out to and worked with, or like, there's so much pressure, you're putting so much pressure on your uterus area. Like there's nothing that can come in when there's so much pressure around it. So my wife's healer actually told me to focus on expansion in that area. So if you can, it doesn't even have to be like a physical thing, maybe to create space. Maybe you're just putting too much pressure on an area. So wherever you're feeling that pressure, instead really feel into how expansion in that area feels. And then it creates the space for it to come through.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah. Because sometimes you need expansion in your heart or expansion in certain, you know, centers and chakra areas to
in your uterus.
Yeah. In your uterus to be ready to accept a baby, or, you know, accept a new job, or accept a partner right into your life. Ooh, that's exciting. I love that.
Yeah. It felt really weird too. I was sitting in my sauna, obviously, and meditating and sitting there, and I was like, okay, well, if she says like, it can't be like looking at this uterus with like focused vision, I was like, okay, well, show me what expansion feels like. And my guides brought me this like super expansive energy. It felt like so open and so flowy, and there was a nice breeze moving through. So you can also practice that.
I love it. I love it. I love how when people describe, I guess, their spiritual experiences, I guess is that a way to describe it, because it's so fascinating, because it's so different for each person. And like, how interesting that like yours has a breeze. So like that's like,
had a breeze.
And do you like a gentle breeze?
A gentle breeze. Yes. Otherwise it's annoying.
Oh yeah. You don't like wind, right?
Jenna hates wind, but I have too much hair for a stiff wind.
I have people that are like, oh, I don't like wind at all. And I'm like, whoa.
Jenna hates wind. Hates it. Makes her angry.
Maybe she like blew away in a past life or something,
or you
in a tornado or something, you know? Who knows? When people have such strong things like that, I always be like, what else is going on? Right. That's always like one of my signs when I'm like weirdly strongly obsessed, or it's like you're talking about Lemuria, I'm like feeling like, I would say like, don't deny those, you know, if you're sensing things, well, or green flags.
Red flags aren't always negative. That's just like a, hey, look at
really
me.
I think they are.
Maybe that's the connotation. They don't have to be.
Natalie.
They don't have to be.
There's like red flags. It could be like green flags.
Your subconscious is sending you flags. Pay attention.
Oh, but I think red flags is popular in like dating, right?
Yeah. Well, now it's
Natalie's like, mine are like crimson with sparkles on them, and they're fine.
I don't.
I know where I'm going. Yeah, that's true. True. If your flags happen to be red in your vision, but they feel good, that's great.
It doesn't have to be negative.
Doesn't
Red
have to be
flags
negative.
actually aren't negative at all.
Like, are you talking about like actual red flags, like a flag, or like the toxic traits that we sometimes refer to as red flags?
Yeah, those are not red flags. When you see red
Okay.
flags come up in partners, that's not a bad thing. That's like a, hey, look at this. It's not a bad thing.
I think it's more like, hey, hey, look at this. Maybe our
how
flags.
big the sign is. Depends on how long you've been ignoring it.
That's true. Hey, look at this. And then 3 years later, hey, girl.
They're gentle at first.
Yeah. They're more like, hey. You're right. Because it could just be an opportunity for something.
Yeah.
But it could also be a warning, right? It just kind of depends.
Yeah. How big are your red flags? Are you not listening? Oh, why did we start talking about red flags?
I don't know. You're derailing us today, not me, but then you can't get us back on track.
Gemini. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not leaving any breadcrumbs.
Usually I was like, okay, so back to.
I can't be relied on that for today.
Yeah, see, because you go with me and then we end up in this pool of red flags talking about it. And we have
Lemuria.
this whole fun podcast to talk about too. Thanks for being with us, everyone.
Yeah, let's circle back to the equinox. It's a big deal. Astrological New Year. Jess is in Aries.
It's my birthday.
Feels good.
I love my birthday. I love spring. I love being in Aries. I love being first. I love being number one. Yeah, we're number one. Oh. We start the new year. We kick off the party. I take that with pride. And I love spring though. I love like daffodils are up here and hyacinths and tulips are coming soon. And they're just so fucking pretty. And I have on my altar, what's on this side? A cherry blossom branch broke and I saw that as an offering to take it. So I asked, can I have you on my altar? And I said, yes. So I put that on my altar, and here we have the cherry blossoms at UW.
They line the streets there. We were actually on contract in Seattle in the spring. And like by the time we left in April, it was just, oh my God, it was beautiful.
If you come to this Pacific Northwest time, come in like March or April, because they also have tulip farms out in Skagit Valley where they grow them, but it's kind of like a mini Dutch version. I'm sure it's way better in the Netherlands, but they have patterns and like really cool tulips and it's just fun.
It's so beautiful. It's so like lush.
And like the weather's getting nicer and there's no more winter and rain. And, living in the Pacific Northwest, I mean, this is like, we earn our spring here,
Yes.
We made it through the winter. So I don't know. I just feel happy. And I think I feel that like, it's like when you first wake up in the morning, everybody's like, good morning. Like it's that for me.
That's spring. That's the spring vibe you get.
Bedhead, having your coffee. You're just like, good morning. It's still kind of quiet. You're like 1 or 2 people up before everybody's awake by like May, June, July, Then the Geminis wake up. They're like, hey, sorry I slept in. What's for breakfast?
I am not that kind of Gemini. I am an unimposing Gemini.
Oh, I love it. You're an early Gemini, right?
No, later.
Right in the middle. Oh, later. Okay.
15th.
Oh, yeah, you are.
That
must be it.
That must be it. It's too close.
What's
to
it
Cancer.
like 2 Geminis? What's it like being married to your same sign? And you guys are like twin signs.
It's a lot of personality in one house.
My husband's a Sag and he's a fire and he's a double fire and I'm a fire, air, earth and he's fire, fire, earth. And my friend was like, that's a lot of fire. And I was like, yeah, it is kind of.
It is a lot of fire.
But we do it well.
We're each air, sun, water, moon, fire rising, both of us.
Stop it. That's so cool.
Yeah, both of us. So it's nice actually, because we're kind of telepathic. She'll like start singing songs that are stuck in my head. Like at the time they're stuck in, she'll finish a thought for me out loud. And I'll look at her and be like, cool. I didn't say that out loud.
That's so cool.
It's a pretty telepathic household.
That's so fun. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Geminis, Virgos.
Oh, back to the
Equinox. We are so distracted today. You thought we were distracted last podcast. No. Okay. So spring also has been, I was reading some research. about spring. And basically it was a pagan holiday, and
Yes.
and then it was taken over.
As they
And
all are.
I was reading this one thing that they're like, oh, and then, some of the things just happened to align with Easter. And I was like, happened to align? No, like
Easter happens to align
with this spring. It was just like so weird that it was like how people talk about that. So just kind of know that a lot of these traditions come before religion. And a lot of the symbolisms, like what I think about, like, there's like Easter eggs and the Easter bunny. Like, everybody's like, what the fuck with the Easter bunny? But, it started off, bunnies are a common symbol of fertility in a lot of different cultures. And like today it's like, here's this giant bunny in a cartoon thing handing you out candy and eggs, like so far from the original holiday.
Very inflated.
That's that consumerism layer and all that kind of stuff, right? So even Christmas, all other holidays kind of have that, but Easter is just the funniest one for me. I don't know, but I do love Easter.
How are you going to explain Easter to your kids?
So I feel like there's this, with my children, it's going to be this like both worlds.
Like so religious world?
Religious world, like experiencing the religious sort of experience of it, but then also having this more equinox celebration. So just like a household with two different religions, it's going to be sort of, I want them to experience both sides of it and understand where they come from and then choose how they want to celebrate. But what will I explain it as? Just, it's a time for us to celebrate rebirth, new life, fertility, joy.
Yeah, chocolate, A of all. Getting out of the church and getting out of like religious systems and structures. I was kind of sad about not having an Easter, but that was before I knew about witches.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And now that I know about witches, there are so many more holidays I get to celebrate.
Easter is the best when you go to church. It's the most fun. As a kid, you get to like
Christmas.
Get a dress. No. I'm going to disagree. Christmas is all like,
I love Christmas.
But it's like, there's like a somberness to it.
It's sparkly.
It is, but it's mellow. Easter is like bright colors, pastels, new dresses. He has risen. Woo! It's like purple.
JCPenney ad.
Flowers. A JCPenney ad. It's, are you saying tacky? Maybe. Yeah.
I didn't say that. Those are your words.
That's what I think of JCPenney ads. But it's just, it's like happy. It's joyous. It's joyous. I think there's like an air of like elegance to Christmas. That's what I'll say. Like there's a refinement to it. Love Christmas, but Easter as a kid, especially, you're just like, cool. It's like spring and we get all this rad candy. Yeah.
I love
jelly beans, Easter baskets.
That makes my teeth hurt thinking about it. I'm gonna put a poll because now we can do polls and stuff on Spotify. Tell us, what do you like more, Easter or Christmas?
Ooh,
Settle this once and for all.
Yeah, or you could do it as spring equinox and winter solstice.
Because what is it called? Ostara?
Yeah, Ostara.
Yeah. Ostara. So what is Christmas called? What is the winter equinox? It's called Imbolc. Isn't that what it's called?
I think it's like, well, usually Christmas is right after winter solstice. Imbolc is a little bit before.
Is it?
Yeah, let me look it up though. Imbolc is February.
Oh, it's wrong.
Very wrong.
Again, don't come to us for history.
Pagan holidays. Don't you have a pagan holidays? Okay.
I wish I did have like a list of them.
Oh, wait, here we go.
Christmas.
Okay, so Yule is what they call it.
Yule. Yule logs. Why didn't I know that? I also think that Yule would be a great name.
Yule. I do like that. Yeah, Imbolc's right after Yule, but Samhain or Samhain. Don't quote me on pronunciations.
I thought it was like Samhain. Yeah, I don't know.
It is. I'm a baby witch
for history.
I'm a baby witch. That's what I like to say. But yes, Yule. Yeah, that would be a good name. Yule or Ostara. You're gonna vote.
Those would be great. Those would be great names.
Oh, that would be good names.
Okay, and I love that Easter came from Ostara. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's like somebody was like, Christians, did you guys plagiarize this?
And they're like,
no. So weird that it sounds like
it's weird.
Thing.
This is just what happened.
So weird. Anyway, so our bunnies and our fertility, and Christ has risen.
Right. Anyway, he has risen. Okay.
Uh,
We love Ostara. It's time of fertility. It's the astrological new year rebirth. If you're feeling like you're coming out of a cocoon,
yeah.
it is because of Ostara. It is the energy, but also it kind of depends on what's in your chart.
Yeah.
It depends on where Aries falls in the angles. You might still be feeling cocoony, or you might be going into a cocoony phase if your Aries rules over like the 4th house. You might be feeling, or the 8th house, you might be feeling cocoony, 12th house.
Yeah. I'm sorry for those who feel that way in this season.
Wait, what house does yours rule over?
Oh God, Natalie.
Jess, I thought you said that you were going to know these things when I asked you.
I'm failing. I'm such a bad student. Okay, it's in my, let me go first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh.
Oh, okay.
What's that?
Your house of one-on-one relationships.
What is one-on-one relationships like? My partner, my marriage, or
marriage, but also like one-on-one friendships, one-on-one, like not groups of friends. It's like you and another person's relationship.
I was like, aren't all friendships one-on-one?
No, not like group. It's not like group energy. It's very singular, intimate energy.
But don't I have one-on-one relationships? So if I'm hanging out, where are the group of friends? Where does that, rules that? Gemini.
11th house.
Oh, social people.
Aquarius.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm failing on my houses and knowing of my chart.
You're doing a really good job.
Teacher. I need to study that though. Like I need to figure out a way to kind of like know that. So like maybe next time you ask me, keep asking me, I'll surprise you.
You'll be prepared.
But I don't know. I'm so dependent on my little app and learning it. But like, do you know where everything is in your chart? If I was like, what's in your 7th house?
Typically.
What's in your 7th house?
My sun sign. I also have a sun sign in my 7th house.
Oh.
And I have Mercury there. So I have a Mercury in Gemini, which is a traditional ruler of Mercury. So my thoughts are extra fast. And also like if you have your sun sign in your 7th house of one-on-one relationships and marriage, you really shine a light in those areas. Like you shine a light on one-on-one relationships, or your relationships are really important, or where you shine.
I would say that's true. And learning to be as myself as a projector in human design and like how my aura works, one-on-one is my fave.
Exactly. Same. I do really well in one-on-one situations versus a group.
I actually kind of mostly hang out with friends one-on-one, if now that I think about it.
Like I was not the sorority girl. I was, what do they call them? A GDI. I was goddamn independent. That was my sorority. But like, that's just not where I don't shine in groups. I'm better at one-on-one.
I'm a little more shy and observant in groups as well and even when I know people, I'm a little bit more like
reserved. Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is not my zone. I'm happy to be there. I'm happy to be appreciative and all that good stuff. I love to be in groups. I love to be the member of, but
yeah, that's the sun in your 7th house.
That's why people.
And I grew up on my sun line, which is why I told that story about like everybody wants to marry me in Texas.
I feel like that needs to be like the title of a book that you write about.
Maybe it'll just be a chapter. A chapter.
That's good.
I can't move back to Texas. Everybody wants to marry me.
Oh, you like go to a restaurant and somebody proposes with an onion ring, you know? It's just
adorable. Like... Good effort. A for effort. My first husband proposed with an egg. So
whoa. What do you mean?
Like an egg music box. It like opened and there was the ring.
Oh.
In the middle.
That's like kind of like trippy as we talk about
egg.
Yeah. Wow. Was that like something meaningful in your relationship?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No,
it was just
I think
cool ways to propose.
Yeah, the jeweler that sold him the ring, I think, really pushed it as like pretty way to, but she was, like in her 80s. So she thought it was cute, decoupage eggs.
I love it.
But yeah, he threw up and then proposed.
Whoa, symbolism.
Yeah, he was so nervous.
I remember when I said yes to Dan, he was like, really? Yes. And I was like, he was just, well, he was relieved because, it's like, you're like doing
So
the whole
much build
thing
up.
and then asking for the question. And then it was just like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure he knew I was going to say yes, but it was just like that relief, which I didn't realize, how much pressure that can be to ask somebody to marry you.
Well, I asked Jenna to marry me. It was actually a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Oh, you asked? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did it while she was naked, so she couldn't run away. That's called strategy.
Like she couldn't run away, not give you an answer.
Right. You couldn't leave because you're nude.
Did you like hide all her clothes?
She like
stashed them away.
It was the first day of January in 2016.
Oh.
We had like a wedding on New Year's Eve that we went to in downtown Denver. And then we stayed in Denver. And then we were driving to Seattle to start our contract. So it was very important to like get to propose in Denver, but we had like a very small time frame. So like the next morning she was like in the shower, and then I put on like a Pandora playlist and our song came on, and I was like, I guess this is as good a time as any. I already had everything. Like I had like a little card, and yeah, so I proposed when she got out of the shower, and that was that. Strategy.
That's why she was naked.
Strategy.
God, I can't even imagine walking out of the shower
and being like,
Jenna and just being like, what? What are you doing, Natalie?
She knew it was coming. We bought rings in like a Whole Foods parking lot together. Like,
wait, like out of the back of somebody's car?
Like online.
Oh. Meet me at the Whole Foods for your discount ring.
The trench coat.
I'm not going to tell you where I got these rings. No.
Look at all these rings.
Dan proposed to me in a restaurant. Mm-hmm. We had just moved to Cleveland, and I think that was part of it. It was like we had been together for a while in San Francisco, and then kind of, moving together was kind of like, okay, I guess we're like doing this. Mm-hmm. And then we actually made our rings. Oh. So then when our rings were finished, he got down on one knee and proposed.
We made ours too.
You did? Oh, that's so
cool.
Designed
them.
Yeah, there was this my one of my employees, she's like, I was like, I looked at rings, but I didn't like all these like princess rings. And actually I found this one ring. It was like very like diamondy and sparkly, whatever. And like the jeweler guy was like, this one's called the Jennifer. And I was like, nope.
No, thank you.
I was like, I don't want a fucking ring named after what people mistakenly call me. Or who's Jennifer, right? So then I was like, and then he was kind of like, I kind of like need to get you a ring. And I was like, I don't know. And then somebody's like, you can make them.
Yeah.
And so we forged our love into them. Cute. And it was a beautiful process. And we picked our non-conflict diamonds.
No blood diamonds.
We'd have inscriptions on them, and we each got to work on each other's rings. It's this husband and wife couple that have this beautiful metalworking studio in Cleveland. And then when we came back to pick them up, they had appetizers and champagne for us on the rooftop deck. It was just gorgeous. So it was like the most beautiful experience. And mine, I don't have mine on, but mine is a little bird's nest. Made out of gold with the 2 diamonds inside of it. Oh, and then my band is a different color. And then his band has like a line. I know, it's so cute.
It's so cute.
It's so fun to make your rings.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's worth it. I don't know.
I agree.
It was fun for me.
We got ours from Alexis Russell before she was big.
Oh, okay.
I'll look up Alexis Russell jewelry. Okay. She's incredible. She uses like sapphires and like other alternative stones to really diamonds, but I have a gray diamond. And you choose your setting, and you choose the shape of the stone, and you can choose the diamonds and like bezel or prong or matte or shiny. Like, it's incredible. You have full control over the customization.
I love that.
I loved it. How did we end up talking about this?
I don't you think I'm like, are we still recording? Are people with us?
I don't know how we started talking about this, but this is why we started the podcast. Honestly, it was just because we wanted to record our conversations. So here they are.
Talk about our wedding rings. But yeah, maybe we are complete because we're just like, da, 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 da. Yeah, maybe. We feel good. We talked about all the things.
We did.
Spring cleaning, Easter,
Virgo,
making
space.
Maybe one last thing to say is we're going to take a little break.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm taking a week off for my birthday. Ooh. It's my birthday. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to Joshua Tree, and I'm going to have a little desert experience. So we're going to just have a little break, but we'll be back on the 4th of April.
Yeah, the 4th.
Ooh, 4/4.
Ooh, 22. Oh, I love that.
Ooh, that'll be a fun one to record for you guys. So
that will be fun.
See you then.
Yeah, talk to you then.